Welcome to Second Win Thursday. That's right. Every Thursday, I come to you with tips and tools to help you get your second win. Second win is a term where you are running a very long race and you get tired, but if you just keep going, you will get your second win and successfully finish your race. In the last episode, we talked about regret from the standpoint of doing something and regretting that you did the thing. I did it. Oh my God, I can't believe I slept with that person. I can't believe I made that decision. I can't believe I did the thing. All right. Today, we're going to talk about the second kind of regret, which is not doing the thing that you want to do, but because of fear, because of other issues, they are getting in your way. If that sounds like you, then stay tuned. I'll be right back. Get your pen and paper because I know that the Holy Spirit will have something for you today. Hi, welcome to Second Wind Wednesday. I'm your host, Dacia Moore, licensed professional counselor and owner of Second Wind Counseling and Consulting, where I help business owners, experts, authors, and entrepreneurs increase their emotional intelligence, reduce ineffective bad habits, and create a champion's mindset. And to make the rest of your life the best of your life. And so today we're going to talk about regret, because regret can certainly be one of the things that hamper or hinder you from making the rest of your life, the best of your life. I have a number of clients that I'm working with right now who are struggling with regret. And the thing about regret is that it is a weight. It weighs you down and it keeps you trapped in a way, because you are so distressed or despondent about the decisions that you've made. And I want to talk to you about that today, because we don't have to live in that pain, or even if we experience that pain, we can continue to move on. And I'm going to share some suggestions with you today. All right. So last episode, we talked about regret. There are two kinds of regret. Last episode, we talked about regret from the standpoint of doing the thing and then regretting it later down the road. I shouldn't have slept with that man. I got pregnant and now I got, I love my child, but just am struggling with that decision, maybe financially. Maybe you invested in some stuff and lost all your money, So the first kind of regret is doing something and then regretting that you did it. Today, we're going to talk about the second kind of regret, which is not doing the thing. And I think this is the most debilitating kind of regret, because both kinds of regret, you're always talking about what if. I should have. What if I had made this decision? What if I had done this thing? What if I had not done this thing? How would my life be different? And that's the thing about regret, is that it is, let me give you the definition in case you weren't with me last week at the last episode. So the emotion of regret, and I'm reading from the dictionary, is to feel sad, repentant, or disappointed over what has happened, or over a missed or lost opportunity. And the second kind of regret that we're going to talk about today is over a missed opportunity, or one that you perceive you missed because you didn't make the decision. Regret is self-focused. And so you are looking at yourself, you're blaming yourself, you're condemning yourself, you're angry with yourself because you didn't do what you wanted to do, even though you knew maybe that the Lord put it in your heart, or that this is something that you've always wanted. So there is a huge component of self-focus. You are blaming yourself, and you are thinking oftentimes, I should have known better. I should have done better. I should have made better decisions. Um, those kinds of things. So, not doing something that you wish you had done. And my mother always told me, Dacia, live with as few regrets as possible. So when I think about some of the things that I want to do that are big, that are scary, they say have those bodacious, hairy, scary goals. Many people have big goals. I have big goals, and they are scary. And then it gives you pause as to, should I even do that? What if I make a mistake? What if I do the wrong thing? What if I had a client tell me the other day, she said, I messed up my life. I have messed up my life, and I don't want to make another bad decision and mess up the rest of my life. Okay. So when we talk about regret for not doing something, a lot of times what is happening is that fear is getting in your way. I should have done this thing, but I was too afraid. I should have gone to grad school, but I was too afraid, or I didn't pursue it. My family did not support me, and so I didn't make that decision. Many times it's fear that gets in the way. Sometimes it's ignorance. You don't know. You don't know what you don't know, right? And hindsight is 2020. That's the dangerous thing about regret that the enemy uses to keep you trapped. Hindsight is 2020. So you can be looking at your past right today and say, I should have done XYZ. Well, maybe you should have. Maybe you should have made that decision, but you didn't. And coming to terms with that is a wrestling that you might have with yourself. Now, when I talk about the kind of regret where you are too afraid to make the decision and so you don't do anything, there's actually a quote from Theodore Roosevelt, and I heard it many years ago, and it has stuck with me. The best decision is for you to make the right decision. The next best decision is for you to make the wrong decision. And the worst decision is for you to make no decision, for you to stay in limbo. One of my mottos here at Second Wind Counseling and Consulting is I help Christian women who are at a crossroads in their life and don't want to waste any more time. Enhance their emotional regulation, figure out what habits are keeping them stuck, come up with a plan of action in order to make the rest of your life the best of your life. Now, my question to you is, what decision are you procrastinating about today that will help you make the rest of your life the best of your life, but you are too afraid to make it? You see, no decision is a decision. No decision is a decision to stay where you are. It's to stay still. And we are meant and created to move. We have movement in our bodies. We grow, we change, we morph into, and hopefully we're becoming better. So to stay in the same place year after year after year after year, when you know in your heart that there is something else in you, there's something else for you, there's something else that you should be doing, there's a dream, there's a desire, there is a purpose within you that the Lord put it in you, that it is meant for you to do. Today is the day to make a decision. Now, I'm not suggesting that you jump out there into the deep without doing your research. That would not be wise. And we want to be wise in our behavior. So what should you do? Well, I'm going to share with you some thoughts about what you should do, because what I hope that you will get from listening to today's episode is that When you get to the end of your life, Stephen Covey, who wrote The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, one of the classics, I would recommend it if you haven't read it. The first habit is begin with the end in mind. At the end of your life, if you were writing your obituary, what would you want it to say? How would you want to be described? How would you want to be described by your family? And how would you want to be described by your work family? How would you want to be described professionally? All right. A lot of people don't even take the time to think about how they want to be described professionally. But I am suggesting that you think about it. As a matter of fact, there was a quote on social media today that said, instead of looking at your resume and posting your resume, you need to be writing your obituary. Because when you write your own obituary, you're looking at how you want the end of your life to be, and then you can move toward it starting today, right? You can move toward it starting today. Begin with the end in mind. So what is that capstone place that you see yourself? Where do you see yourself at the end of your life? What do you want to have accomplished professionally? What do you want to have the loved ones around you say about you? That is how you live with as few regrets as possible, is that you are intentional with your behavior. You're not just a rowboat in the middle of the ocean without any oars, letting the ocean take you wherever it wants to take you. No, I am suggesting that you live with intention. I am suggesting that you put some direction to your life and decide where you want to go. And even if it's scary, even if it is terrifying, if that is the goal and the dream that you have for yourself, at least write it down. At least write it down. And then your mind will start working toward it. Because see, what will happen at the end of your life if you don't at least try, then you will always regret not doing the thing. That is one of the most frequent regrets in the research that I have read in preparation for this work to share with you. Most people regret not making the decision, not taking the trip, not taking the cruise, not taking the leap of faith to start the business, not taking the leap of faith to do the thing because of fear. We're going to get into the different kinds of fear in future episodes, but today, what I want you to think about is, what is that one thing that you are concerned about, that you want to do? And how can you move toward it? The first thing that you have to do is to overcome your regrets and come to terms with your decision. So now I'm going to give you some tips on how to overcome regret. Now, it's going to sound very easy. It is not an easy thing. It is a journey. I recommend that you start the journey. Try to unload the emotions of regret and disappointment, because those are so weighty. Those are so heavy. They will keep you bound, and they will keep you from doing the thing. Not only will the fear of doing the thing keep you bound, but that regret, because people will often say, you know what? I've made bad decisions before. I should have done X, Y, Z. I don't know if I have it in me to do ABC. So you do have to come to terms with your decisions in the past, maybe the decisions that you wanted to make but didn't make. Okay, the things that you wanted to do that you didn't do, and now you're at a milestone birthday and you're like, man, where did all that time go? I am 50 years old. I've got half of my life left. I better get serious. And that is what I'm suggesting. Come to terms with your own decisions. I heard a speaker one time. She says, own your decisions, own them. Okay. That's the same as, or very similar to, coming to terms with them. Own your decisions, whatever, all of them, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, whatever, good, bad, or indifferent. Own your decisions. That will help you to release some of that regret when you say, you know what, I did the best I could with what, with the information that was in front of me. I did the best I could with what I had. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I am going to forgive myself. That is huge. I am going to forgive myself. So, regret is an emotion that really you're looking at what could have been. And, if we had a do over, two, three, four, five do-overs, we can relive those decisions and see how they played out. We love those movies where people get to go back in time and see what happened, and then they come back to the present. But we don't have that. That's in the movies. That's fantasy. You don't get to a do-over. And so, are you going to spend your life today, tomorrow, and the next day living in regret for something that you cannot change? Okay. The only person's behavior that you can change is your own. And when you start releasing that regret by forgiving yourself, by coming to terms with your own decisions, okay, by owning your decisions, and then forgiving yourself over and over and over again as you come to terms with those decisions, you will be able to release that regret and really move forward unencumbered with your future. Because again, you can't do anything about that decision you should have made. You can't do anything about that decision that you did make that caused you to be where you are. But what you can do is, beginning today, make a new decision that is going to lead you to that place, that capstone, that goal, that begin with the end in mind, end goal that you want to have. But you have to behave in that way. The first step is to make the decision. The second step is to do it, is to move in that direction. See, a lot of people create goals for themselves, but they don't do it. They don't do it. And what I'm suggesting to you is that today is the day to do. Today is the day to do. Come to terms with your decisions, forgive yourself, and move forward. One step at a time, one day at a time, even if it's hard. So this has been Second Wind Wednesday. I hope you will get your second win. Stay in touch with me by signing up for my e-newsletter at secondwindcc.com. You can go to my website, sign up for the newsletter. You can connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. But stay in touch with me via the newsletter, because I'm going to be sending out tips and tools every, probably twice a month. April is Stress Awareness Month, so I'm going to be sending out some stress reduction tools for you to use if you're part of my community at secondwindcc.com. Go on there, check out the website. You can sign up for the Second Wind Snippet. That is my e-newsletter, and that's where I send out those tools that will help you. So again, April is Stress Awareness Month. And one of the things that I hope will reduce your stress is for you to come to terms with your decision and let go of that regret that you have been carrying around. It is not meant for you to carry. It is meant for you to put to the side so that you can move forward with your life, one day at a time, one step at a time. Well, that's it for this edition of Second Wind Wednesday. I hope to see you again, and certainly you can watch this on the YouTube channel. Remember, come to terms with your decisions. Keep in touch with me by signing up for the newsletter at secondwindcc.com. Forgive yourself, own your decisions, and release that regret. You can't do anything about the decisions that you made in the past, but you can make new decisions today so that you have a better future to make the rest of your life the best of your life. That's it for today. Have a great day, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.